Well, thanks for just go ahead and just starting without me. I think my like video is so usually with me doing a lot of content and stuff like that, I need my camera to do its thing on its own. And that's what it does with my video now. I just learned as well. I only had it for my photos, confirmation on my phone, but it's like I'm doing it for the videos as well. And I'm like, all right, fine. Do whatever you want to do. I was actually ready to start, so it does not matter. I was ready. Hi everyone. I'm back to pre-recordings. I love them. Okay, it gives me some time to get everything out at once. This is my favorite, by the way. It's the light blue one for me. I have a lot to put out, guys. So hi, Armirica the Empress. I did want to put on some gloss. Hold on. Oh yeah, put on a little gloss. And the gloss, you know, you can't go wrong with it. So I'm gonna add some on the lip. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try something else today. I'm actually gonna try something else today, guys. I need to actually let my headset charge. Ooh, I found a hawk feather. Hawks could be very significant. I found a hawk feather probably the other day. And I was like, oh my gosh. I just need to charge my Bluetooth, guys, because I use her a lot throughout the day. But hawks could be very significant. Hawk could be your totem. Just sliding back in a little spot graciously. But we're definitely going to try something else today. I've been trying to... I like the different things I can do with my lip. I like that. I like lipstick. I like matte. I like all of that. I really do. I really do. And I like it. I'm trying to add something on there. And I like things that kind of match my skin, my tone. I will step out and maybe do like a red, but that's it. I like nude, kind of like this pink I'm using right now. I don't forgot the name of it. Why did I pick it? I forgot. I think it's called The One. Okay. A lot of my makeup, I do go to Sally. I like their eco-friendly area. I love that. And that's where this comes from, out of the eco-friendly area. So I use a lot of eco-friendly things. It's even yet and still in the material. I like that. Until I'm able to make my own. Which is something I'm doing right now. I'm learning how to press flowers. That's another story for here another. Lip is better. Yes, and we drink right out the lip. Yes. All right. I am doing this because a lot of people have been having a lot of questions. First I want to say this video is thank you, ancestors and angels, guides, and all positive forces that look over me. Archangel Michael, Anubis, come in and protect me as I give this message around astrology talk. Okay, and that's what this is about. This is like astrology 101. I kind of want to do like, I don't want to call it like a crash course, but we are going to talk a little bit about the planets, the houses, and the zodiacs. Okay, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of having a lot of questions. I get a lot of questions, you know, and I'm just kind of like trying to put a lot of information out there. I'm trying to get it, release it and get it into one area where you can kind of like find what you need, you know, and things of those natures. I'm working on it, guys. It takes, a lot. But we're going to be talking about the houses, the planets, and the zodiacs today. And, I'm going to be doing this health-wise, talking about the health of the planets as well, giving a little affirmations for the planets as well, and the houses and things. We're going to see how everything connects, okay? Just based off of the zodiacs, the planets, and the houses, all right? Because everything is interconnected, all right? Just like mycelium, you need to know that. Everything works together. Like right now, how Jupiter is in Gemini and how Mars is in Gemini, they are working together. How Saturn is in retrograde in Pisces and how Neptune is in retrograde in Pisces, they are working together. It is just a beautiful combination, okay? This is light work on how everybody is working together. Okay, one has to need the other. It's like we need mycelium or there will not be no plants in this motherfucker. We need bees or we ain't gonna have no flowers in this motherfucker. It's like we have to have the ecosystem working together. Okay, that is the natural forces at play. It's crazy how they're working together and their energy is helping us work together. This is magical, period. And Aquarius will make you see that and you'll be like, oh my God, back at it again. All right. So with that being said, let's get into it. First off, there are 12 of every damn thing. You just need to remember 12, 12, period. 12, 12. It's 12 zodiacs and it's 12 houses. Period. Okay? Period. All right? Period. Period. We also have Chiron, so that do make it a little 13-ish. Okay? But Chiron is associated with the 11th house. So everybody still got somewhere to go. Okay? So if you are wondering about Chiron, I don't know, Chiron is associated with the 11th house, okay? The house of groups, community, networks, and wishes and things of those natures, friends and stuff like that. That's the Chiron energy, okay? The strengths and the weaknesses, period. That's one thing you need to know. With that being said, I'm just trying to figure out how I was going to do this, if I was just going to talk it out, but I didn't know, but I'm just gonna go. All right, so first and foremost, like I said, 12-12 is very significant. So it is very important to understanding your own chart will help you understand how everything is connected. So it's very important. First, I'm going to tell you to have your own chart at hand. You will need that as you are shifting daily, period, to understand. It is important to have a copy written or printed of your chart, your natal chart. You need to have that, period. You're going to have to know how to do your part. You need to have that. That's important. Okay. I do recommend going to AstroSeeks. I do recommend AstroSeeks. That is the site that I use. So I do recommend that. I understand everybody use cafe astrology and things of those natures, but I preferably like AstroSeeks. I'm talking about like you can get in there and dissect it. Okay. Even to the point where there is another chart, but we'll talk about that at a later understanding in the journey. All right. Well, right now, getting your natal chart, having a copy of it with you all the time, writing it down, having it written down, that is important. All right. First, we're going to talk about the houses. Okay. That's what the universe said. They said, first, we're going to talk about the houses. All right. So like I said, 12-12 is very significant. There are 12 houses. There are 12 zodiacs. The first house is Aries. That is the house of self. Period. Aries is your first impressions, your early childhood. Aries is the sense of self, your identity. Aries is you. Okay, so when we in that Aries energy, it is very important to understand that it focuses on you. It's the first house. It's number one. It's you. The ruling planet for Aries is Mars. Period. I like to say, even though it's like said the ruling planet, I like to say Aries is Mars' child. That's how I see it. So Mars is the parent and Aries is the child. Period. That's in the first house. When it comes to understanding the first house in Mars itself, so the first house is the physical appearance, the self-expression, and your vitality. Okay? That's who you will become from that. You will use the energy from Mars, which is energy, action, aggression, and conflict, to examine the physical appearance, self-expression, and vitality. So that's how it works. It's almost like the planet is the parent, okay? And the planet is where we get the house from. And the house has a child. The planet and the house have a child. Okay, and it is Aries. So that's how I see it. That's how I look at everything in the chart like that. 12-12, that's how I see it. So when it comes to the second house, and the second house is the parent of the second house is Venus. The child is Taurus. The understanding of that is the house of money and value, personal finance, material possessions, income, assets, and security. Okay? And as stated, the parent is Venus. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, art, and attraction. We have now moved to the second house, which is personal assets, wealth, and your earning and your ability. So as you are examining it, kind of get you a niche around how you understand it, just like how I have one. Like as we move on, we are in the third house. Mercury is the parent. Gemini is the child. This is the house of communication. Okay? This is what happens in Mercury's house. We're talking about it. Okay? Communication, siblings, school, short-term goals, neighborhood. Okay? And again, this is the parent, which is Mercury. Intellect, power, communication, reasoning mind. In order for the parent to do what it needs to do, which is the house of communication, it has to have intellect, power of communication, and reasoning mind. Again, we have now moved on to the third house, which is your immediate background, your siblings, and your maturity. Okay? So the third house is really big, just based off of that energy. The third house is what I'm doing right now. Literally. Just this teaching moment. This is a little bit of third house, and I'll give it a little bit of sixth house as well, but we'll get there. Okay? So, the fourth house. The moon is the parent. Cancer is the child. The understanding in the moon house is home and family. Family, inner child, fatherhood, old age, ancestors, roots, property, inheritance. Okay? Again, like I stated, the moon is the parent. So the moon focuses on your soul, emotions, your instincts. Okay? So the parents will use the emotions to understand, to push how the home should be taken care of in the fourth house of family, origins, afterlife, and just ancestors and roots. So understanding each house is so significant. You see how everything flows and breaks down and it works together. And also even with the breaking down of it, you see how it can play out in your life. That's why it's important to understand your chart, because your chart is you and that's how you are playing out in your life. So if you can put all of these things together along with the shifts that's going on, you'll be able to have a clear understanding of what's going on in your life. There's no reason to be left out. Okay? Moving on. The fifth house, which is the parent is the sun and the child is Leo. And in the sun's house, we focus on love. Okay? Romance, dating, fertility, creativity, fun, pleasures, good fortune, and children. Okay? This house of love, which the parent is the sun, it uses the spirit and life force and your identity. Okay? So in the house of love, this is where you understand your spirit, your life force, and your identity. The house of the sun. It's where you have a deeper understanding. It's like where you get the house. It's like where you get it from the first house, where you're like, okay, I do have some sort of sense of self. It's like by the time you get to the fifth house, you need to be evening it out and understanding that love needs to be brought in any way or any understanding of what we just spoke about. Pleasures is the fifth house. Amusement, love, and children. So if you want to know how many children you have the potential to have, your fifth house will be able to let you know. Wherever Leo is at in your chart can be able to, with the sun is important. Okay. The fifth house is where you can understand if you want to know how many children you'll have, if you will have children, what do you need to heal to be able to have children? Will you be able to produce a fortune for your children? You can find that out in the fifth house as well. What is your identity that your children will hold? You can find that out in the fifth house as well. Okay, just a little background, splash. Moving on. the sixth house, okay, which is Mercury. All right, Mercury is the parent, Virgo is the child. This is in Mercury's house. We focus on the work and we focus on health, okay, illness, your everyday routine, your work environment, okay, your if you pets even is in this, co-workers is even in the sixth house. All right. Again, like I said, Mercury is the parent. You know what I'm saying? Also, there are, if you haven't noticed already, which we just got to this point, some things share some things. Okay, so there are 12, but Gemini is share Mercury, okay, along with Virgo, and Pisces shares Neptune, and shares Jupiter along with Sagittarius. Okay, and there is another one. Yes, Scorpio shares Mars with Aries. All right. So there are two parent households in some of this in the eighth house. The eighth house and the 12th house has a two parent household. The eighth house has Pluto and Mars as the ruling. In the 12th house, I have Jupiter and Neptune as the ruling. Mercury can parent two houses, okay, at the same time. It's not a two parent household. Because Mercury is parenting Gemini and Mercury is parenting Virgo, but they're not in the same energy though. Okay. I don't know how. Hopefully you guys understood that, because I was like, yeah. So I think that's the best way. Yeah, some up two parent households. Two parent households, okay. And I feel like the houses that have the two parent households, they need it. The house of sacrifice and the house of transformation, they need two parents. I feel like everybody else can do bad by themselves. That's why it's like that. Okay. Like Gemini does not need Mercury and Venus. Gemini is fine, you know. It's almost like Scorpio needs Pluto and Mars, and Pisces needs Jupiter and Neptune. Okay. Whereas, like I said, Virgo does not need Mercury and Uranus, nor does Gemini need Mercury and Venus. So everybody does not have two parent households. But anyway, where were we? Yes, okay. The house, the sixth house. All right. So the sixth house is service, work, and health. So inside of the sixth house, inside of Mercury's home, you focus on work and service and health. Okay. So you could be a Virgo, or you could be attracted to a Virgo. Okay, attracted to Virgos. Okay, that could be very significant for you. All right. And then again, so intellect, power of communication, and the reasoning mind. So in order to operate in the home with Mercury, you need to have the energy of intellect, power, and communication and reasoning mind. Virgo needs that, and that makes a lot of sense because health is big on communication, reasoning mind, and intellect. Using that, even like doctors and things of those natures, they need, even like my position. You know, I need to know the study of the herbs to be able to help someone. You know, I may not need to know the statistics, but I do need to understand what the herb can do. You know, so that intellect, the way you use your intellect and the way that you use your mind to formulate communication is big when it comes to Virgo. You know, in the house of Mercury, where Virgo is held, that house of work and health is around. You would need the intellect and the reasoning mind to even be able to make that what it is, of service, okay, and work and health. Period. I'm moving on. To the house of the seventh house, Venus's house, okay, where Libra is the child. This is in Venus's house, they focus on relationships, okay, committed relationships, personal or business, platonic, managing partnerships, and public enemies. Okay, so in Venus's home, it is very important to understand that love, beauty, and art and attraction, okay, is the type of relationships you want to be in. And Venus will help you be in those committed relationships, those partnerships, and help you understand that there may be enemies, okay, in that, okay, open enemies to be exact, okay. It's the way that Venus, it's the way that the house of Venus is pushes you to connect with other people, okay, to be able to see. It's almost like you'll go through a phase of having terrible relationships. You got to see that to be able to grow and build more committed relationships, to be able to rise, even higher in your energy. So the house of relationships helps you do that. Okay. And this is the house of open enemies. Usually this is that balance of the scales. It's like when things are unbalanced, people may have more than the other, more energy in another relationship than another. It's almost like something like that in the house of relationships. It will help you understand that, okay, and put a forefront or shine a light on those public enemies accordingly. All right, and try to add more love, beauty, art, and attraction into that energy. Moving on. The first two parent household is Pluto and Mars, the 8th house, the parents of those, and the child of that is Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio needs a lot. It's the house of transformation, taxes, other people's money, short incomes, long income, period, power, death, and occultic abilities. Okay, so in Pluto's in Mars house, they work together, okay, to transform your entire life. Period. Okay. To help you understand money, finances, and the power of life and death, and how that lies in the tongue, in the occult energies in that. So you get real dark when by the time you get into Pluto and Mars' home. It gets a little dark, but it's light though, because transformation is beautiful. Life is beautiful because once you get out of the transformation, you can go straight into your purpose, which is the next house we'll be talking about as well. So getting this understanding about your power, okay, and deathing a lot of things will help you move forward in life, okay. This is the house of other people's resources, the skills, okay, legacies. Will you leave a legacy? It's almost like passing through Pluto and Mars home. We'll see, can you leave a legacy? Do you want to leave a legacy? Do you want to leave something behind? Do you want to do what it takes? Do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous? What is it? Passing through that energy will help you understand the power and the force behind the control that you can have over your life instead of someone else doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like that transformative energy using you. This is almost a house where you release all codependency, okay? Especially when you're working with the Mars and the Pluto energy. Mars is that action, aggression, and conflict. You will run into a lot of conflict in this house as well because of the energy, the vitality that you will have in putting forth action into who you want to become, okay? Based off of what you feel like is left for you, based off of inheritance, spiritual abundance, material abundance. This house is powerful. That's a big ass house. It got to have a 2-parent household. I mean, like, it's inevitable. It's a big house. It's a big business, because like I said, once you get out of there, you can transform, confirmation on my phone, straight into Jupiter, the 9th house, okay, where Jupiter is the parent and Sagittarius is the child, and this is the house of purpose, where then you can see from what you have seen in the dark, has it brought you to higher education, higher philosophies, higher faith, the law, the order, okay, the natural law of the order, distance. Are you ready to travel? The foreigns, are you ready to use your divine energy? Okay, this is the international energy. This that big shit. This way you can make your life what it said that you are. Period. In that 9th house. All right. In that 9th house, that's that long journey, the higher learning. It's almost like, what did you learn? What did you come out of the rabbit hole with? And can that go far? That's what the ninth house wants to know. You know, when you pass through there in that motherfucker, the wisdom, the expansion, the optimism, the success. I just love Jupiter. Thursday is the ruling day for Jupiter. I just love it. I'm also going to be starting doing planetary, I think what I was going to call it. I'm going to start doing planetary alignment guidance, okay, where I'm going to talk about the day of the week that is tied to the planet and what do the planet have to tell you for today. I think that's going to be a big move because they're really trying to help us align here, period, whether you want to see it or not, okay? So yeah, Jupiter, that house, that energy, period. Okay, and like I said, that higher learning, law, natural law, and I literally just wrote something down in my book, and I said I was gonna change. I didn't know where I was gonna put it at yet, but I just love the way that Anubis gave it to me. And when I was sitting in my bed the other night, and he told me, he said, "You're a conduit of natural truth, law, and order." And it was conduit for me. I was like, what does that mean? You know, I had to go and look that up, you know, because again, I don't want to know it all, but I want to know what I need to know when it's time, you know. And I did, and it was almost like just what I said. When it's time to do what I'm supposed to do, I naturally operate in natural law and order. And whether that is every time, all the time, sometime, many times, that time, this time, I'm a conduit for that period all the time. And that really made me feel good, you know, to hear the universe say those things, you know, to me. So in this ninth house, what are you? Your purpose? What are you? Who are you? What are you here for? And what are you here to do? By the time you get to the ninth house and understanding that from the first house, you should know something. Okay, Bookie Bear, you should know something, because you're finna get to that 10th house where Saturn is the parent and Capricorn is a child, and we ready. Okay, it's almost like, so here's the resources, let's get it. From here, it's up. When you get to that 10th house, it is up. Okay, this is the house of careers, profession, public image, reputation, fame, ambitions, and legacy. That's what I'm saying. That 8th house, you want to be rich or famous, because the 9th house is going to be like that little split, that little choop on that motherfucking. When you get to that 10th house, okay, it's like, oh my God, back at it again. Woo! In the kitchen whipping. I'm telling your friend, oh my God, like it's so up in that 10th house. Like, I love the 10th house. Like, I love 8, 9, 10. You know, it's like something about 8, 9, 10 for me. You know, it's a vibe. It's a vibe, yeah. Like, literally. The house of career, your reputation, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is Saturn's home. Restrictions, limitations, restraints, and sorrow. So when you are in Saturn, Saturn is going to be pushing you, okay, to be the best that you are supposed to be, showing you your restrictions, your limitations, and your restraints, and your sorrow. It's going to show you that. Can you flip it to show your image better? To be more ambitious, to create a legacy? Can you flip it? Did the 2-parent household, Pluto and Mars in the 8th house, show you how to do that? Did you see success in the 9th house and Jupiter? Do you see that? Because, oh my God, back at it again. It's like Saturn never going to let up off of you. And it's beautiful, because I literally just was saying this. It's like, if you can understand the lessons, it's beautiful. It's beautiful going through that, understanding why people, places, and things are in your life. Understanding that. Understanding what it can bring to you, what it can help you see, what you can do with the energy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Reputation, career, the mother. The mother. The mother is in the 10th house. And that makes a lot of sense, because it's almost like, how driven are you? Do you have that drive inside of you? Does it come from inside of you? Like, are you ambitious? Are you ready to create this legacy, leave this legacy for your children? The mother, the powerhouse, what gets things going? What keeps things going? So what you are supposed to do as a mother, career-wise, could be in it could be in your 10th house. Saturn is going to show you how to be a better mother or better father. Saturn will show you that. How to be better. It'll show you what's your limitations. Saturn may send you back to your roots, your fourth house. Saturn may send you back. Saturn will send you back to 1 through 5 so you can understand what is it that's making you who you will be and who you need to be. Because when you get to the 11th house, Uranus, okay, well, Uranus is the parent and Aquarius is the child. In the house of groups, it all needs to make sense now. Friends, groups, community, network, spirits, hopes, dreams, wishes. You need to be in that. It needs to make sense now at the 11th house. It begin to make sense. Like your connections will begin to align a lot better. Okay? You're at Uranus here where change, revolution. That's Uranus, that change and that revolution. I love it. Okay, friends, groups. This is where things can make sense. It's almost like at the 11th house, you're beginning to start over. But where will you be starting from? Saturn will show you. Because it'll either make sense in the 11th house or it won't make sense. So Saturn will show you. Where do you need to start? Because you're finna get to another 2-parent household where you can either transform this back to the past or you can transform into more that is to unfold in the 12th house. Like starting another life, really going through the transformation. The 2-parent household is Jupiter and Neptune in the 12th house where the child is Pisces. It's almost like Pisces made me think about little baby. Child is Pisces. And now I see why people say Pisces has all of everyone in them, because by the time you get there, you're either taking what you have learned from the past to move on, or you taking what you haven't learned from now and the past and you got to go back. Okay? This is the house of sacrifice. Period. Psychic abilities, limitation, depths of destiny. It's your depths of your destiny. By the time you get here, you in your depths of your destiny. Where is it going? Left or right? Isolation, exile, occultism, collective consciousness, meditation, the hidden. The 12th house is deep. I literally hear him. Mount Everest ain't got shit on me. Mount Everest ain't got shit on me. 'Cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. Hey, the bars ain't got shit on me. Touch the sky, but you ain't got shit on me. The 12th house is self-undoing, withdrawal, retreat, and seclusion. I'm on top of the world. Hey. It got imagination, spirituality, inspiration, illusion, and deception all inside of it with Neptune. It also has the wisdom, expansion, and the optimism and success all inside of it with that Jupiter. So what do you see? It's literally, that's it. What have you merged that together? Is your illusion now your wisdom? Have you merged it? Yeah. Because if you haven't and it's still split up into two and you haven't become one, like how the fish need to swim. I don't know how they're swimming, but whatever they're doing, they got to go in a flow. Something like that, you know? Have you gotten that flow? Pisces want to know by the time you get there. They like, you up in here. Mama done adopted some kids. What you here for? I got the routine. Do you got it? Chiron, last but not least, it is in the 11th house. Okay, it's a part of the 11th house. Chiron shares it's Aquarius and Capricorn energy. So Chiron is the house of groups, so Aquarius and Capricorn energy. So Chiron is a 2-parent household. Chiron is Uranus and Saturn. Parents. Uranus and Saturn are the parents of Chiron. Okay, the 10th and 11th house, and it is the house of career and the house of groups. Okay. Which makes a lot of sense because Chiron focuses on the strengths and your weaknesses. Period. Almost like your masculine and your feminine, your yin and your yang. Chiron focuses on that. Aquarius and Capricorn could be the perfect example to describe that. That you are what you put out. You are. I said I was going to talk a little bit about health as well. I'm just going to go over it just lightly. More. I love to talk about the health aspect of it because this is another level of understanding. Okay, if you can understand how everything ties together, then you will know how to fix things. Okay, the first house is general health, the head, the brain. The second house is face, mouth, and throat. The third house is lungs, shoulders, and arms. The fourth house is breast, chest, and heart. The fifth house is heart, stomach, liver, bladder, spleen, and small intestines, pancreas. Sixth house is large intestines, immune system, and diseases. Seventh house is kidneys. Eighth house is sexual organs and anus. Ninth house is thighs and hips. 10th house is knees. 11th house is legs. 12th house is feet. Okay. Okay, I did want to do a little bit of affirmations as well. I like to do affirmations so you guys can know as well. The way you can see how you can work with the house, the planet, and the zodiac to bring in everything that you need. So Aries, I am motivated to act. Cancer, I feel emotional and nurturing. Taurus, I have practical thinking and practical perceiving. Gemini, I think duality and communication. Leo, I will desire recognition. Virgo, I analyze attention to detail. Libra, I balance and relate to others. Scorpio, I desire intense and forceful. Sagittarius, I aspire. Okay. Idealistic. Okay. Capricorn, I use. Realistic, responsible. Aquarius, I know. Understanding, human understanding. Pisces, I believe. Spiritual and sensitive. Okay. I will do a later video about the conjunctions and things of those natures, but now is the time for us to focus on understanding that. You know, when you can get that understanding around how the planets and the houses and everybody work together in your chart, then you'll be able to see how it moves naturally. You want to kind of gather some things naturally, you know, do that as well. Leave room for you to grow as well. That's what I like to do. God is to tell people, leave room for you to grow as well. So that's why I didn't sit up here and talk to you for an hour. You know, it's like I'm leaving room for you to grow. Go back and grow. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Yes, because see, we taking it out the basements and we going to the auditoriums. Okay. But anyway, Cosmic Counsel is a business. I'm going to leave my media in the description. And yeah, until next time. Peace.